Go ahead, fill everything in. Ooh, nobody has a question yet?
This is like
Yeah. How about this new format I wrote it in? Nobody has an issue with that? It's not given prove, right? Usually you guys are like, oh, given, I got it, and I got to prove that. Science class, do they still do like hypothesis, conclusion, if then statements? All right, I can also write a proof like this, where the if is your givens. If this is true, then show me this is true. So this is your proof statement right there. All right, I just wrote it in a little bit different format for you guys. Instead of the traditional given this, prove this. We'll let everyone get organized and then we'll talk here. There's a couple things. This proof's very easy, but a couple things I want to mention. All right, we ready? Number one thing to mention. There are 8 angles in my diagram. 8. Did everyone see I only labeled 3 of them? 1, 2, 3? It's because I want you to focus on those. All right? I don't want you to focus on the other 5. I would have put numbers there if I wanted you to focus on them. I only want you to focus on 1, 2, 3. Because a lot of times kids will raise their hand and say, Mr. Carlino, can I put a letter here so I can name like that angle? There's no letter there because I don't want you to use that angle. All right? Use the numbered ones. It's like a hint to you guys. Hey, look at me. Look at me only. All right? I know there's 8 angles total, but I just want you to focus on those 3. That's why I labeled them. Second thing, and I have not said a word about this until now. Who cares I gave you that? Right? Ooh, lines intersect. Wow, that's going to help me. Oh, it is. It will help you. All right? That is a signal to you guys. If I tell you they're lines or if I tell you they intersect, that's a signal to you guys. You're probably going to use one of 2 things. Vertical angles, because you need intersecting lines for those, or supplementary. All right, so that's a little hint to you guys. If I give you lines are straight or they intersect each other, that's a hint to you guys. Hey, you might want to look for vertical or supplementary angles. Kira, question?
Yeah, would you also say the same thing for 90 or no? Or would you just like put the perpendicular symbol?
I've just put perpendicular.
Okay.
Yeah, just put perpendicular because I still need that. So is everyone good? I know it seems like this is a waste of my time writing this down in the givens, but no, it's not. I gave it to you to signal, hey, you better look for vertical angles or supplementary angles in this proof. So let's go back. I got to get angle 3 and 1 congruent somehow. I have 3 and 2. Anybody see any other true statements based on my diagram? And darn it, focus on the numbered angles. That's why I gave them to you. Anything else true about these numbered angles you see up here? Hopefully, right? Hopefully. Anything you see true? Oh, Gage, going back to you. Which ones?
3 and 2.
I know that. That's given. Thanks for the update. 1 and 2?
1 and 2 are vertical.
So keep going. There we go. All right, everyone good? 1 and 2. You don't need to tell me they're vertical. I don't need to know that. But now in statement 2, bless you, relax. 2 congruent to 1. Reason, that's our last fact for the unit. Vertical angles are congruent. Still not done though, right? I need 1 and 3 though, kids. 1 and 3. So we better rely on something else here. You didn't show me the proof statement. Proof statement said get 3 and 1 congruent. All right. I don't have anything else to show you. There's nothing new I'm going to show you. So we got to use something else, something from our board here, right? I hope. I got nothing else for you. There's no new magical fact I'm teaching you. So look at what you've written down. This is one thing. Everyone always goes to the diagram, wants to write, but they always forget about what's already there. Look at what you've written in steps 1 and 2. Oh, yeah. 3's congruent to 2, and 2's congruent to 1. So what do we have here? Zip it. Where are we going? Kevin. To say what? There you go. We're going to use steps 1 and 2, use substitution on them to say 1 and 3. And we don't abbreviate this because it looks like subtraction. Does everyone see how substitution comes from steps 1 and 2?
Yes.
Just speaking. All right. Yeah. That makes me real warm. He knows. Yeah. How about everybody else?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the confirmation, Zach. Yeah. It's like the blind leading the blind over there. We all good? All right. Here you go. Oh, this one. Buckle up for this one. You think you're in honors until I give you this one. Yep, and that's a challenge to you. All right, so if those lines intersect, maybe I want to look for something here. And I also tell you angle X is congruent to angle Y. Why in the world then would angle M and angle N be congruent? Let's first eliminate the possibility that those M and N are congruent because they're vertical. No, they're not. They're not. We can all agree they're not vertical. They're not formed by two intersecting lines. All right. That's not a line there from F to G. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm done talking. I'm going to turn it over to your group. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes right now to find another true. I don't want to know how to do the proof. I'm not interested in that yet. I want to know another true fact about your diagram, though, that might help you in this proof. And please remember that AEB intersects DEC. Probably gave you that for a reason. So discuss, talk, verbalize with each other in your group, because you're going to have to do this all day tomorrow. What other true fact is in that diagram that might help me?
So C, so wait, so midpoint, which is E.
Midpoint. Where's midpoint?
First.
Okay, I was going to say there's no
John
midpoint
Ball, I
here.
registered the midpoint over here.
It was in the middle.
it was registered as John Ball. Just kidding. I really see the point of the midpoint over here, Joe.
Okay, then.
We got M, exclamation. Oh, there's those for some instance. We do like a subtraction. We could do a subtraction. DEA. So we use for them to get subtract DY. Yeah, it'll work out.
Oh, which means that E whenever
Okay, let's get back up here now. Again, I don't want to know how to do the proof. I just want to know, give me another true statement about my diagram. All right, give me another true statement about my diagram up here. That's all I want to know. True statement about the diagram. One, Sierra Dicha, what else is true about my diagram? Did we find anything else true about the diagram? The lines intersected for a reason. Okay, I'm not moving on to anybody else here. I'm going to force you here. These lines look. These lines intersected. These lines, yeah. This is you here. I'm waiting.
BEC equals DEA.
Okay. DEC equals BEA.
No, BEC equals DEA.
Okay, so angle DEA is congruent to angle BEC. Everyone look, I'll mark them for you up here. Phew. Those two angles are indeed congruent because what's the reason why they're congruent? Let's hear it. Gauge.
They're good because they're vertical.
Vertical angles are congruent. And that is why we told you the lines intersect to look for those. All right, so big deal. That is true. How's that going to help me get to M and N now? Look at everything you marked on your diagram. How am I going to use the angles X and Y in the givens and the vertical angles to get to M and N there? Are we at this point in the unit yet? Are we? Violet, what can I do with those pairs?
Angle, you can do subtraction.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. Subtraction. How many pairs do I need to subtract?
2.
How many do I have listed in my proof?
2.
All right, let's subtract. Let me turn it over to somebody else. Give me a pair of angles to subtract then. One pair to subtract up there. Sky?
BEC.
BEC minus?
Y.
Yep. Equals on the other side of this diagram. Give me the other pair to subtract. Tess? I got BEC and minus Y. Now the other side's going to be DEA minus. You gave me the vertical, now minus angle X. Yeah, you're okay back there? Be confident. You're right? Okay. What gives me the right to do this? I know we've already talked about it, but just checking to make sure we're good. Not here. One more. Oh, 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Nope. Sorry, we got to take over now. Where are we taking on? Lucia? Reason for this step right here. What did we do to the angle? Yeah, that's it. Make sure, again, it's very common. I see substitution here. We don't want substitution until the next step. And that'll be M congruent to N. Look at you guys. Vertical angles with the substitution, huh? Wow, it wasn't a reflexive, that other pair. Oh, it was vertical angles instead. Questions there? Not bad. We're getting there. Well, how was that one? If you weren't allowed to work in your group, right? Because that's something I could put on Monday's test. Nice little proof like that. Oh, you haven't seen any of it. This last one here. This last one. Go ahead. Set this. Ooh, 6 angles. Woo! Love it. Here we go. This is great, this one. Everyone see I gave you straight lines too? There's a little hint. Hey, I'm telling you they're straight for a reason. Either supplementary or vertical angles that are going on here. Let's take a look at those two angles, 4 and 6. I'm asking you to prove congruent. Any relationship between them? Are they vertical? 4 and 6? No, they're not. And why would I make this a 2-step proof and give you all that information if it was just vertical? All right, you ready? I'd like you first not to look at the diagram here, because you've written 2 givens, which you can tell me a true statement just from those 2. All right, so can we start with your givens instead of just looking at and writing down anything that you think is true and may not lead anywhere? Can we just look at those 2 givens? 1's congruent to 2 and 2's congruent to 3. So give me a true fact now without even looking at this diagram. without even looking at this diagram, what's got to be true about two of those angles? Zach? 1's congruent to 2, 2's congruent to 3.
They're congruent.
Anything in particular, or?
Um,
Well, look, one.
Angle 1 is congruent. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 1.
Okay, thank you. What did you use to say that?
Substitution.
Thank you. So I'm going to start there. Everyone's all right with that true fact using substitution? All I did was look at the two givens. I didn't even look at the diagram. I didn't need to. All right, now we are going to have some help from the diagram. And work smarter, not harder. What do I mean? You're trying to get to 4 and 6. So why don't you give me something that involves 4 or 6? All right, because we're trying to get our proof to end with 4 and 6 being together. So why don't we start the ball rolling here? Give me a true fact about either angle 4 or angle 6 up here. Anything you could say is true about 4 or 6. Choom. Oh, look at that. 6. Lucy?
Angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles.
So that makes them? Okay, I'll start there. Yeah, 1 is congruent to 4. I like that statement because it involves angle 4, and that's in my proof. Vertical angles are congruent. Again, I don't want you to get in this habit of just start writing down everything you see, and then you have no idea how it comes together at the end. Look at everything you have written already. 3 was congruent to 1. Lucy just gave me 1 and 4 now are equal. Any other angles now up there that are equal without looking at your diagram? Because my fear is you start looking at the diagram and you start listing every single vertical angle, you're going to have no idea how to tie it into 4 and 6. Take your time. Look at what you've written. Look at steps 2 and 3. What angles now are congruent based off of steps 2 and 3? 9. Where are we going there? I'm going to get there. Nope. One more time. Oh, there we go. Will? 3 and 4 are. Perfect. Without even looking at the diagram, I look at my own work and see that 3 is congruent to 4. What made you do that, Will? Substitution. Good. So 3 and 4 are equal. All right, I got 4 down. What have I not involved yet? 6. Look at the diagram. Can you involve 6 at all now? Anything about angle 6 is true. Choom, there we go. Aylin?
Angle 3 is congruent to angle 6.
Darn right it is. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. Vertical angles are congruent. Look at all the work you have already done. 3 is congruent to 4 in step 4. And then now we have 3 and 6. Anything now you want to tell me just based on what you've written down the last 2 steps? Whew, let's finish. It's be big time tomorrow. Let's go here, Bennett. Anything you want to finish this off with?
Angle 6 is equal to angle 4.
Good job. What'd you use to say that?
Substitute.
Yeah. I do not want to see all the vertical angles in one step because you would. I don't think you would understand how to substitute everything. Look how we did it, one step at a time.
Would you take points off if you did though?
But you better do all your substitutions correctly. Here's the thing. Here's my fear. Everyone's going to put all the vertical angles into one step, and then you're just going to use one substitution. You count right now. How many substitutions did it actually take to get to 6 congruent to 4? 3. And if you write substitution once, that's incorrect. We substituted 3 times. All right, that's why I like it all written out in a single step. Because you guys are just going to write substitution, I'm done. But we actually had 3 of them and not 1 of them. Questions, comments? All right, homework's not bad. You'll see it's 1 proof and 2 algebra ones. That third one's a beast, though. So if you and your group get to it, you might want to work on that together because I don't know if I don't know if you guys remember back in the day last year. I'm just making this up. Solving this at the same time. System of equations, 2 variables, 2 equations. You're gonna have to do that for that last one. welcome to the honors level. All right, so if you need my help when you get to it, let me know. Share ideas with each other. Don't skip it.